tell me something. Have you ever tried to message or get a date with an attractive woman on your Facebook only to be left frustrated because she never responded, or because you couldn't hold her interest for long enough to actually end up at least getting a phone number? Be honest with me here, I want to know. Have you ever personally messaged or added a woman on Facebook only to be rejected, or even worse, ignored, and were left wondering why? Have you ever seen a woman you were attracted to on Facebook and wanted to get a conversation going, but feared that if you messaged her and said all the wrong things, you'd end up looking stupid, sounding like an idiot, and she'd think you're a loser? Have you ever thought to yourself, she's out of my league, and saved yourself the shame of messaging her because she probably wouldn't be interested anyways? Have you ever wanted a woman so badly and did all the wrong things, and the harder you tried, the more you screwed up your chances of her ever seeing you as the kind of guy that she would want to be with? Well, if you're like I was when I first started working on my skills of chatting women up online or even offline in the hopes of getting a date with them, then you've most likely experienced many of these situations, probably many times. And the worst part is, deep down inside, you know that if you only did and said the right things in the first place, each of those situations could have been different. It all comes down to your actions. Yes, your actions are what decide whether you will be successful at meeting and getting dates with attractive women on Facebook, period. Not your looks, not how much money you have in your bank account, not the kind of car you drive, and no, women don't care about your six-pack abs in your profile picture. Something I always hear from guys is, well, you're good looking, so it should be easy for you to attract women. Newsflash. I couldn't get a date with a woman if my life depended on it back before I got this area of my life handled, and I was probably rejected by women over 100 times in the past, if not more. Yet some of my friends that were shorter than me, stubby, and didn't exactly look like male models were attracting women left and right. How? Because they understood that real attraction takes place on a much deeper level than the physical, and once you understand this and learn the techniques to trigger this kind of attraction amongst the women you interact with on a daily basis, you will be able to attract and get dates with almost any woman you desire, regardless of your looks. As a matter of fact, I remember reading an article once that talked about how even Brad Pitt used to have trouble when it came to getting dates and got rejected often before he became famous. So you have to stop focusing on the superficial things so much, since they play a much smaller role than you think when it comes to your overall success with women on both Facebook and in the real world. But there are certain things that anyone could do to seem more attractive on Facebook, and I'm going to show you what those things are soon. So at the end of the day, most of the women on Facebook don't really care if you look like Brad Pitt or not. What they do care about, however, is your actions. Everything from what you do, say, post, all the way to what you think. And fortunately for you, 95% of men that try to get dates off of Facebook usually do, say, post, and think all the wrong things. So much so that they usually turn women off or drive them away before ever saying a word. And that's obviously not what you want. So to qualify yourself in that small 5% group of men that get the majority of dates with attractive women on Facebook, you'll have to firstly become aware of your actions on Facebook. And once you become aware of your actions and how each of them play a very important role when it comes to getting dates, then and only then can you begin your journey towards learning the exact steps to getting dozens of dates a month and the specifics of what you need to do, say, post, and think to make it all happen. Once you learn this, women will begin to add and message you more often than you think. If you're ready to finally get your Facebook game handled and say goodbye to all those repetitive actions that have been holding you back from getting dates and sabotaging your chances with women for as long as you can remember, I have some great news for you. In 2006, right about the time I released my first book, I also happened to join Facebook, and I immediately started to reconnect with people that I haven't seen in years, and many women that I used to have crushes on when I was younger, but I was always too shy or scared to ever approach them back then. I also began to meet and add some new women that I had never met before but found attractive, and before I knew it, I had about 300 plus women on my Facebook friends list in the first few weeks of joining. That's when my let's see how many dates I can get with all the attractive women on my Facebook idea popped into my head. I remember that eureka moment like it was yesterday, and I guess you could say from that day on I started a little experiment. I wanted to learn how to use Facebook as a tool to get as many dates possible with attractive women in the shortest amount of time. And so my quest began. After screwing up in the beginning and trying many different techniques, I was eventually able to get crazy results. And before I knew it, I was going on about 4 dates a week with attractive women off of my Facebook. Although I must admit, it was quite tiring at some points. I couldn't keep up with all the women I was dating simultaneously, but that's what I like to call a quality problem. Anyhow, to make my story short, within a period of about only 2 years, I went on over 100 dates with amazing women from my Facebook, and even used Facebook as a tool to meet the amazing and beautiful woman I'm currently in a relationship with. Pretty cool, huh? So I guess you can say I learned a couple of important things that will make or break your chances of getting dates with women in the process, and I really wanted to share everything I learned, but I held back because I wanted to really master my Facebook game before I shared any of my secrets and techniques. So I spent another 5 years, 5 entire years, in addition to the 2 years I had already spent getting over 100 dates, really fine-tuning my techniques, and secretly working on a system that has been 7 years in the making. And I can confidently tell you that there's nothing like this out there, not even close. Now the time has finally come for me to share everything I learned on how to get dozens of dates a month off of Facebook, and the techniques I'm about to share with you are so simple that you'll be able to instantly see results and begin getting dates within literally 2 hours from now. Yes, it's that easy once you know what you're doing. So check out all the details below and get ready to get more dates than you'll know what to do with. Read below.